This episode is sponsored by Scare Scotland. Hello, and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals, filmmakers, and other creative people to live a more focused, effective, and hopefully a happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson, and this is episode 98, Opening and Closing Doors. Some doors are best left closed. George R.R. Martin, unquote. This is the fourth and final short test episode that I'm doing this season, so if you have any feedback to give on the format of these new style shows, then please get in touch via the official website, that's filmproproductivity.com/contact, or on Twitter at FilmProProdPod, or on Facebook at FilmProProductivity. And I often talk about opening and closing doors on this show, but it's been something I've also got into several conversations about lately, so I thought it might be worth a special mention on one of these shorter episodes, and hopefully you will agree. And generally, when I talk about opening and closing doors, I'm talking in terms of taking on too many things. As discussed, in fact, in the last show, you need to ruthlessly prioritize, if I could say it, you need to ruthlessly prioritize what you're getting yourself into, and the best way to do that is to always be prepared to turn down what at first may appear as an opportunity, in inverted commas. My default answer to most of these, in inverted commas, opportunities, by the way, these days, is no, and that's simply because I already have so much on my plate. It's only financially rewarding opportunities that are given a pass on that one. And my commitments are what I refer to as open doors. Any unfinished projects or promises or maybe financial affairs that are not yet settled, anything like that is got to be tackled, it's what I'd call an open door. And if I'm going to take on a new task, that is open a new door, I, generally speaking, like to have closed another one first. For example, I've just had a message from the director of Mercy Falls, from Ryan Hendrick, on which we are going to be shooting pickups next week, but I am currently pushing through to complete these two episodes, the last one I've just recorded and this one, first. And I replied to Ryan with a text saying that I'd call him this afternoon, but I will put this episode to bed before I do that. And if I was to call him right now, this episode would be interrupted, and it might take me maybe a full half hour to get back into the right frame of mind to continue it. It's not imminent or urgent that I speak to him. It's not something that's just about to happen, as it's to arrange a meetup later in the week to discuss what we're going to be doing on the pickup day. So I choose to complete this first. I'd love to stop and chat, but I'm forcing myself not to. And on a broader scale, I no longer commit to too many projects either, and every single month I have someone wanting me to come onto a project with them, usually unpaid, often a writer or an actor with an idea that they would like to do a film with me, for example. But from my experience, I know that these projects very rarely work out, to be honest. And I know that I have upset a good number of people in recent years, as my default answer to these things, even if I know the person, even if I know them very well, in fact, is no. I simply can't keep getting into bed with people that want to do projects, as these doors open, and sometimes they will not be closed until months or years of my time have been sucked into them. Open doors on which I have little control as well, to close on my own, that is, could go on to the point where I have to forcibly shut them, maybe incomplete, and that is always going to create bad feeling. And I know plenty of people that have never learned about opening and closing doors, and they live in a world of overwhelm. They have so many doors open in life that they can't get anything done. When someone comes to them with a new opportunity, they jump right in. They don't think any further than, oh yeah, I want to people please you perhaps, or that would bring energy into my life, or that would distract me from a problem I've got, and they jump right in there. But you must remember that you're not doing anyone any favours if you say you'll help someone out, and then you can't find the time to help them because your life is so chaotic. Saying no to opportunities will solve this problem, because let's face it, not every opportunity, in inverted commas, is an opportunity. And some people will open the door of opportunity for you, say an actor with an idea for a short film. That happens, honestly, frighteningly often. But in effect, when you type every single word of the script for them, as it turns out they're useless, and arrange every single element of the film, handling all the producer roles and all that sort of thing, to get it to completion, at the same time handing them a producer and a co-writer title in the process, then they are bringing you no opportunity at all. In actual fact, they are creating a problem for your life, even though, as I say, you might feel that they're bringing energy into your life or a distraction from something else. You could instead have spent all that time you've given to someone else, giving away titles in the process. I think I'll talk about that in a future episode. But you could have spent all that energy and time on your own project. So why didn't you? When opportunities come to me, I always look at them with a cold eye. Is there an opportunity here? Is it something I want to get involved in? Is the person approach me any good? Why should I do this? And if I do this, what impact will it have on my own projects, on my life, or on my bank balance is another thing that can come into play. And I say this to actors all the time when a low-budget casting comes up. I say, you are auditioning the filmmaker. I say, check them out. Have they got talent? Have you seen their work? Is it any good? Would you doing this film benefit you, or would it actually slow your career down? You have to ask yourself a whole lot of questions every time an opportunity, or what seems like an opportunity, comes your way. Close some doors today, not because of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but simply because they lead you nowhere. Paulo Coelho. I may have pronounced that wrong. It was my best bet, unquote. Of course, not every door should be refused. Sometimes opportunities will come along that are once in a lifetime. And my biggest regret in my lifetime, maybe I've had other big regrets, but one big regret I had was turning down the opportunity to head over to Canada and get onto the set of Stargate SG-1 in the 90s. And I turned that down as I had a lot going on here, or it seemed like I had a lot going on here. And the local opportunities were coming thick and fast. And I'm sure I could have fitted that trip in. Thinking back, I know I could have fitted that trip in, which came to me through someone on their stunt team via Yahoo groups, if you remember that. Yahoo groups were a thing then. But I regretfully at the time gave it a miss because my headspace was like, oh, I'm frightened about missing an opportunity right here, and the opportunity in Scotland might come back next year and next year and next year. You know, I was looking to form relationships as a fight coordinator and build relationships here. Anyway, that stopped me from accepting the opportunity to, it wasn't a paid gig, but just to go over and visit the set of SG-1, meet everyone and enjoy myself. And I think if I'd turned down a few lesser opportunities here and taken a break, I could easily have fitted it in. But I'm a bit more attuned these days to recognising the real opportunities that come my way, and I'm far more committed to opening my own doors or doors to my own projects than I was then too. But I'll end this short show here. Hopefully it's made you think a little bit, and I'll urge you to keep as many doors as you can shut as you go through life. There's sometimes nothing worse than an open door that's a drag, an incomplete project. I call it an incomplete productivity loop sometimes, to steal away your mental energy and slow you down. It's a drag factor on life. And if you're opening any exciting new doors, always make sure that you close a few old and unproductive or incomplete ones along the way. Your call to action is to do just that. Are there any incomplete loops, open doors in your life that with a very little effort you could close and lock shut? Get closing them right now. Don't put them off. And watch your productivity, your mental health, and your goals begin to blossom. Next week's show is another longer show, standard length show, and it's all about to-do lists, which I've always thought should really be called do lists, to take away that kind of doubt. To do is always something I'll get round to. Do always makes me think I'll get that done. I've not written it yet, but you can tell I'm thinking. But please join me for that one. And in the meantime, I'll end now with a quote from Alexander Graham Bell, who said, "When one door closes, another opens. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which is opened for us." Now take control of your own destiny. Keep on shooting, and join me next time, my friends, on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you can hear right now is Adventures by Himitsu. And you can view the show notes for this episode, the full show notes, only on the official website, filmproproductivity.com. You can also follow my personal account on Twitter, and Instagram in fact, at fight_director, or follow the show on Twitter at filmproprodpod, or on Facebook at filmproproductivity. Please continue to support the show, my friends, by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.